Dear colleagues, my name is David Herrero Tamarit, and I'm presenting this research developed at the Catholic University of Murcia in Spain. This work has been carried out under the supervision of Dr. Juan Manuel Molina Morote and Dr. Lourdes Meroño Garcia. It is a great honor for me to participate in this symposium. Today, I will present our study entitled Olympism and physical education, alignment between curricular and Olympic values within the Spanish educational framework. In this presentation, I will explain how Olympic philosophy and Spanish educational legislation share common principles, and how physical education becomes a key space where these values are lived and experienced. Education and sports share a deep and transformative purpose. Education is not only about transmitting knowledge, it is about forming responsible citizens who are capable of critical thinking, coexistence, and social responsibility. In a similar way, sport, especially when understood through the philosophy of Olympism, is not only about competition or performance, it is about character formation. Through sport, individuals learn discipline, effort, cooperation, and respect for rules. Both education and sport go beyond technical skills. They both aim at developing the whole person, intellectually, socially, emotionally, and physically. For this reason, Olympism should not be understood only as a sport philosophy linked to elite athletes. It can also be understood as a educational philosophy that offers ethical guidance for schools and teachers. Therefore, the central question of this research is how can physical education serve as a bridge between these two worlds? Olympism is defined in the Olympic Charter as a philosophy of life. It seeks to create harmony between body, will, and mind. This idea already suggests a holistic vision of the human being. The Olympic Charter identifies three main values: excellence, respect, and friendship. Excellence does not mean defeating others at any cost. It means striving for personal improvement and giving one's best effort. Respect implies ethical behavior, respect for rules, and recognition of diversity. It also includes respect for oneself and for the community. Friendship promotes solidarity, dialogue between cultures, and peaceful coexistence. When we analyze these principles carefully, we realize that they are not limited to sports. They are educational values. They can guide school practice, classroom behavior, and institutional culture. For this reason, Olympism can be interpreted as an educational framework, not only as a sport ideology. The Spanish Constitution of 1978 established the fundamental principles of our democratic system. Among these principles, we found human dignity, equality before the law, freedom, and democratic coexistence. Education is understood as a right as a tool for social development. The Constitution emphasized that education must aim to at the full development of the human personality. This expression is very important. It shows that the Spanish education is conceived as an integral formation, not only academic training. This constitutional vision reflects a humanistic approach. It promotes social responsibility, respect for diversity, and civic participation. When we compare this framework with Olympic philosophy, we observe a strong resonance. Both perspectives empathize ethical development, both promote coexistence and social harmony, and both understand education as a means to improve society. This constitutional base allows Olympic values to be integrated naturally within the educational system. Building on the constitutional framework, the Organic Law of Education of 2006 establishes the general structure of the Spanish education system. Its reform in 2020, known as LOMLOE, reinforces several key principles. These include inclusion, gender equality, sustainability, democratic citizenship, and competence based learning. Focus is clearly on integral development. Students are not only expected to acquire knowledge, they are expected to develop autonomy, critical thinking, ethical awareness, and social responsibility. Royal Decree 217 of 2022 further develops the curriculum for secondary education. It introduced a competency based model. This means that learning outcomes are connected to real life situations. Students must demonstrate not only what they know, but what they can do and how they behave. Healthy lifestyles, cooperation, emotional regulations, and responsible participation are explicitly included. This legislative framework with the principle of Olympism, the alignment becomes evident. Both systems emphasize personal improvement. This convergence is not superficial. Olympic values do not need to be artificially inserted into the curriculum. They are already compatible with its structure and objectives. If we summarize the comparison between Olympism and the Spanish curriculum, several shared principles become clear. First, integral human development. Both frameworks reject a purely technical or academic vision. Second, equality and inclusion. Discrimination is rejected and diversity is valued. Third, social responsibility. Education is understood as preparation for active citizenship. Fourth, ethical behavior, rules, fairness, and mutual respect are central in both perspectives. This is not simply a coincidence, it reflects a shared humanistic foundation. For this reason, Olympism can be integrated into Spanish education not as a standard element but as a complementary reinforcement of values that are already present. Physical education plays a decisive role in transforming these principles into lived experience. Unlike more theoretical subjects, physical education is embodied. Students move, interact, compete, and cooperate. They must respect rules, manage emotions, and they must accept both victory and defeat. This situation creates real ethical challenges. Students learn how to deal with frustrations. They learn how to support teammates, how to respect opponents, and they also learn self discipline and responsibility. In this context, values are not abstract ideas written in a textbook, they are experiences directly. Physical education becomes a laboratory of citizenship. It allows students to practice democratic coexistence in concrete situations. For example, when students negotiate rules in a game, they are practicing dialogue and agreement. When they accept the referee's decision, they are practicing respect for authority and fairness. When they encourage a weaker teammate, they are practicing solidarity. In this sense, physical education is a privileged space for the implementation of Olympic values. The Olympic Values Education Program offers structured materials and methodologies for schools. It is designed to integrate Olympic principles into daily educational practice. Through this program, students reflect on the meaning of sport, respect, and excellence. They participate in activities that connect sport with ethical reflection. The joy of effort becomes a central idea. Students understand that improvement requires dedication. Fair play becomes a life experience, not only a theoretical concept. Respect for diversity is reinforced through cooperative activities. This approach aligns naturally with Spain's competency based curriculum. It supports activities or active methodologies. It encourages participation and reflection. For this reason, I can be considered a practical tool that helps the alignment between Olympism and the Spanish educational system. The collaboration between the Spanish Ministry of Education and the Spanish Olympic Committee reinforced this connection. This agreement promotes teacher training programs focused on Olympic education. It also encourages healthy lifestyles and value based learning in schools. This institutional support is really important. It demonstrates that the alignment between Olympism and education is not only theoretical, it is also supported at the policy level when legislation, institutional, and agreements move in the same direction, educational coherence is strengthened. This represents an important step toward integrating the Olympic values into everyday school life. In conclusion, Olympism and the Spanish educational framework share a common humanistic foundation. Both aim at the integral development of the person. Both promote ethical behavior, respect, and social responsibility. Physical education serves as a bridge between legislative principles and lived experience. It transforms values into practice. Integrating Olympism into education is not a decorative addition. It has real transformative potential and it can be contributed to forming citizens who value integrity, empathy, cooperation, and continuous improvement. The relationship between Olympics and education invites us to rethink sport not only as a competition but has civic pedagogy. Today, schools face many challenges. We see individualism, we see lack of dialogue, we see difficulties in coexistence. In this concept, education needs clear values. Sport, when guided by Olympic principles, can help respond to these challenges. Through sport, students learn to respect rules, they learn to accept difference, manage frustration, and improve step by step. These lessons are simple but powerful. They connect effort with ethics. They connect performance with responsibility. For this reason, Olympians should not remain only in international competition. It can live inside the schools and support teachers. It can guide daily educational practice. In this way, sport becomes more than physical activity. It becomes an education tool, a tool to form better citizens, and perhaps a tool to contribute to a more respectful and cooperative society. Thank you very much for your attention.